Hello and welcome to Ellen and Megan's Engaged and Empowered Introduction. We are so thrilled that you are here to learn more about the upcoming workshop series that we have launching on October 9th. And we're here to just tell you a little bit more about it, let you have the opportunity to get to know us and what we have planned for you. We're thrilled to be here. Ellen, do you want to give us a little bit more information about yourself?
Sure. I'm Ellen Miller. I'm so happy to be here. I am an executive coach and I also do leadership development. I also have my own podcast, Pioneers at Work. And it just so happened that Megan and I had met through her boss, who had just referred her to me to say, hey, I know someone you should be connected with. And we got talking and I said, oh, you know what? You really need to be on my podcast and talk about communication. She did phenomenal. So if you want to go download it and hear a little bit more about her, tune into that. But it got us talking to each other, and we both had this passion about helping women leaders, especially in the energy industry. And we were like, what can we do? What could we bring to these people that we can help them really elevate themselves within their career? And we started working together on this program. So do you want to tell them a little bit, Megan, about the program?
Yeah, definitely. My current role is the Director of Marketing and Communication at Engage Energy and Industrial Consulting. And just as Ellen said, we really hit it off and everything just started flowing together and coming together in such a beautiful way. And the topics that we are presenting on, I think, build so beautifully upon one another. So when we kick off in a few weeks from now, the first session that we're going to have is personal identity and goals. So I'll be leading this session and we'll be really doing a deep dive into who we are, our true authentic selves, and as well as our true authentic desires. We're going to be taking that, combining with our skill set, our background, our education, our job history, and seeing what really lights us up, and figuring out how to take that all into account, bringing it all together and creating a mission statement for our lives. We're going to create a vision board for what we want in the future and enjoying where we're at right now while we work towards that vision. We'll be doing a SWOT analysis, identifying our strengths and our weaknesses, and also a personality test so we can find out more about ourselves and about other personalities and how that plays into the way that we perceive others and for how others perceive us. And then after that, session two will be led by Ellen. So I'll let her chat about that one.
Yeah, so we're going to build upon session one and we're going to talk about communication and especially around the aspects of your body language, the language that you use based on what audience you're speaking to. We're going to talk about nonverbal cues, maybe, then how they apply to you, and then how you react to nonverbal cues. And then we're going to also talk about your visual authority. And this was when we really start talking about how your brand is coming across to others. And what can you do to help elevate your brand, even if it's based on how you present yourself based on different audiences? It can really depend on situations that you're in on how you want to come across. And visual authority is a key element of your personal brand, and we'll work on that as well. And then, Megan, you're going to talk about online presence.
Yes, definitely. And that again builds on our second workshop, taking into account our personality traits, our desires, our wants, our background, how we communicate, why we communicate those ways, how we're perceived. And not only in person, but online is huge, especially these days. I know the last few years, a lot of my interactions have been virtual. So, how do you present yourself in a Zoom call? How do others perceive you? How do you perceive others? In addition, we'll be looking at our LinkedIn profiles, how to come across in a professional way, as well as presenting your own personal flair, your own personal brand on your social media, not only LinkedIn, but we'll take a look at other social media platforms. We will talk about personal websites, if that's something that you have or something that you're interested in building, and other online brand management skills. So after that, Ellen's going to lead us in session four, talking about emotional intelligence, which is one of my personal favorites as well.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about emotional intelligence, where we pull in all the things that you learned and went through in your first three sessions. And we're going to really talk about how do you then apply it to your own self-management. We're going to talk through a very specific model that you'll learn on how to identify maybe an emotion, what's the thought, what thought is causing you to have a reaction. And then we're going to talk about the result of that. reaction, right? And we're trying to say, okay, can we take a pause? Can we have a response? And then let that thoughtful response be focused on how you want the result to come about, right? And so when in that much more intentional discussion, you're going to learn a lot more about yourself. And it's a practice that we're going to encourage you to undertake because it takes time in self-management. I don't know about you, Meagan, but for me, it takes time and practice to really hone that skill of self-control, owning your own destiny, figuring out how do you want to portray yourself to others. And that's all wrapped up in your personal brand. And we're going to talk a little bit about resonating. And we're going to say, like, hey, if you're on a mood elevator, be aware of how your energy resonates with other people, because it can have a huge impact. If you're supposed to be having a big meeting, big presentation, and your energy is not aligned with what you want the result to be, you've got to step back and say, where am I and what can I do to get my energy in the right space to be the most effective in my leadership? And then we're going to go back right to session 5 now, and you're going to tell us a little bit, Meagan, about that.
Yes. Yeah. And just a note on session 4. Thanks, Ellen. That's emotional intelligence is one of my very big passions outside of this workshop. I teach a lot about mindset, and we really do. We need to take that time to think about what we think about instead of letting the words flow and our brains take over and just, get out there. When we want to create that professional personal brand, professional presence, you need to take that time to take a step back and think about how you want to respond. And that's going to play into how people think about you. So, taking this time and investing in yourself in this program and these sessions is going to do wonders for your professional presence and for your career and for your life, even your personal relationships. That's important. So between session 4 and 5, we're going to take a 1 week break, a 2 week break actually total. And Ellen and I are going to have one-on-one calls with all the participants, which I absolutely love because this is really going to give us a chance to talk about what you learned and how you want to apply that. Because as Ellen mentioned, we're all about taking action with these plans. So the 5th session is going to be a final presentation that you have an opportunity to show the group what you've learned about yourself, what you've taken away from the program, what you want to take away with you for your life and for your career and how you're going to apply it. And I really think of this whole program as sort of a time capsule of who we are right now and who we want to be. And then we can take a look back over the next year, over the next 2, 5 years, whatever it is, and say, wow, look how far I've come. Because Ellen and I are huge proponents of growth mindset and growth opportunities. And this is a perfect growth opportunity. So taking this time, investing in yourself, learning about yourself so that you can become the best version of yourself is going to be immensely important in the grand scheme of your life. So Ellen, do you want to talk about a couple of the bonuses that we have that are going to help people along on this journey? I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's so great. And I just want to reiterate, this is a launch pad. This is a way to launch yourself and your personal brand. So take advantage of it. And we did create a workbook you can take notes, reflections, action items in as you go through the program. And it's laid out in alignment with how the program is going to be delivered so that you have something to memorialize all your learnings and aha moments along the way. And then the second thing we've developed is for every single day during the program, you're going to have a journal. The journal is set up so you have your morning musings, and then you have your evening reflections. And use that journal to help you identify your intentions for the day and then reflect back on, did I meet my intentions? The good thing about this journal that I really, really enjoy and think is really valuable is it lays out the questions for you. So you don't have to think of, what am I going to write in my journal today? No, it prompts you with questions. It has inspirational quotes and allows you that time to really reflect on what the question is that's being asked and how do you going to respond in that day. Think about it. You're going to have 7 days a week for 5 weeks. 35 days of journaling just around this one area can be really, really impactful.
Awesome. Yeah, very good. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in, learning more about the program. If you are interested in moving forward with us, please check out our website, engagedandempowered.com. We will drop that in the caption below so that you have it. You are able to register there. And when you do register, you'll get a welcome email with a little bit more information about the program, as well as the links to the workbook and the journal. So we're looking forward to going on this journey with you. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on October 9th.
Yes, take care.
Bye. And cut.